A spirit's night laced with life so high, unfolded like love this petaled rose and dilated eye. Unfolded thoughts and heavy minds and stars as bright as thee, collapse your judge's scarlet lies where harlot's guilts do bed to see. Within the sockets void of time rest scarlet eyes to stare at me. I am Emmanuel Wolff. I write because I'm terrified. I have a hard time coping with my own existence, and I'm fucking young, and it's like horrifying. And I don't know if, well, I do know that other people feel that way, because when I write, I connect with them and it makes me feel better to know that I'm not the only one out there who's like, yeah, this shit is terrifying. You know what I mean? I'm not really, I don't like to say that I'm a pessimist, I'm more of a realist, but realistically our world is kind of, it's just like different levels of a nightmare sometimes. So I write to just cope with that, and it's therapeutic to me. That's the honest answer. 90s kids. There's a sort of melancholic magic in the mediocrity of youth. Young adults who have way too much are rotten, too little is tragic. In a happy medium exists this aura of vitality and a lazy tug of potential, always. Topped off with a cherry of invincibility, just waiting to be popped, it's the way they flick their cigarette between their lips. The way they nod hello like they're gonna be here for a while. A laugh that's just a little forced because they know how good it feels to draw it out. That's the magic of a youth with a fingerprint to leave behind at a scene of their own murder. Happy birthday, kid. So, I found Billy's Blends coffee shop. Kind of serendipitously, I ran into my buddy Charles. He was playing a show at Billy's Blends. He invited me out here, and I fell in love with his music. And the owners met me. We talked about, different kinds of art and whatnot. And I mentioned that I do have spoken word, so they invited me out here, and now every so often I'll host venues at Billy's Blends.
Yeah.
So we really, really loved it here. We came here and he actually, the first time he performed with Charles' music, but I couldn't believe it.
I saw him here for the first time probably about a month ago. I think it's amazing. I really like the delivery of it and the content. It gave me chills tonight, the poem. It was incredible.
So I host venues and I host readings and things like this because I want to give artists the chance to really make a profit off of their art, off of doing something that they love to do, because that's the whole idea, right? And really just give them the courage to go out there and do something with it. That's the goal.
Tick. What is a mite? Unapologetic little arachnid, this fright, set amongst a world on fire with life and told to chew, and to survive like the architecture and designs it consumes do. And how scared are we to hear the shrieks upon seeing a mite's releases in us? What is a mite? What is a mite but a mite?
The local writing community. I wish it was more active, actually, really, I do. It's kind of, well, especially around Macomb, because Macomb there's not a lot really going on around Macomb. But there are friends of mine who are really invested in their writings. This kid, Austin, I know, he actually wrote a poem as an engagement poem and then proposed to a surprise to everybody, to his girlfriend. So that was pretty cool. They're really invested in their writings, and I'm hoping to see the poetry and the writing community in the area maybe progress and like grow more. Maybe actually like organize something so people can like sit down and have like writers workshop and whatnot. Right now I'm currently working on a poetry booklet called Moonlight Howling. The full title is Moonlight Howling, Poems of an Existential Anxiety Attack. It goes a lot into like the Gilgamesh complex, like fearing mortality or like doing whatever you can to be immortal. It also talks about death a lot, death, life, the way that they intertwine and kind of complement each other. It goes into some darker topics like molestation and abuse, and just some of the horrors that go on in the world, like starvation and even the rainforest deforestation. That's in there. But that's what I'm working on right now. It's just a book to jar people. I wanna get them thinking outside of themselves. I wanna make them really. It's an attempt to let people transcend themselves, I suppose, but in like a nihilistic way. Everybody dies. Not everybody truly lives. As for me, I'll live forever and die while trying. Death is sane, and sanity doesn't exist. Thus, insanity is a creation of itself.